Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya wal Mursaleen. This is MUJEEB KAZI, and you're watching Washington Roundtable on VOKTV. I'm absolutely honored and privileged to have a good friend of ours. Like 2, 3 years ago, when we contested election, he was running for the office of mayor of Keller, and I was contesting for as a councilman. The best thing out of this whole episode happened was that we were able to develop our friendship, and fortunately both of them won the election and I lost, but we won the friendship. So Mayor Armin Mizzani, thank you very much for giving the time out and speaking to us this morning.
Hey, thanks, Mujeeb. Thanks for having me, and always appreciate our friendship.
Absolutely, sir. Let me start off by this: how the journey as a mayor has been.
It's been fun. When I signed up for the role, I had anticipated that I would enjoy the time serving our community. But to be honest with you, Mujeeb, I think I've actually enjoyed it more than I anticipated. And I think part of that is because when you work with good people, just like in any organization, whether a company or nonprofit, anything like that, when you have a good team around you, it makes it easier, and it makes it also more enjoyable. And so I'm really proud of councils past and present. I'm also very proud of the staff that we have here in the city of Keller. We're very passionate and dedicated. So when you have a team like that, it's been enjoyable.
I think that's very gracious of you, because as a leader, you're the one who compose your team and lead it the way you want it to be led. I think the credit goes both ways. Um, you have promised during your election campaign trail that you would, optimize the, saving on property taxes, which you did. Um People are still hoping that the price appreciation went up. So do we have any more room for the citizens to save more money on the property taxes?
Well, we're always going to look to bring some tax relief for our residents. And Mujib, yeah, you're right. Last year, my first budget cycle as mayor, we passed what was then a historic tax relief measure, where we maintained the tax rate below the effective rate, which is basically a no new tax. Increase to the homestead exemption that we ever had in the city's history, in over 30 years. And then this year we actually surpassed that historic measure and passed another historic measure of itself, in the sense that we actually lower the tax rate over 4 cents, which is below the effective rate, and maintain that homestead exemption at 20. The state of Texas doesn't let us do any more than the 20% on the homestead, so we're maxed and we're capped there. But that's a good thing that we are at that max, and now we're looking to continue to decrease the tax rate so we remain below the effective. So for 2 years in a row, we've provided historic measure on tax relief, and if you look at your Keller tax bill, Keller is one of several entities within your bill, but if you just look at the Keller's portion, you're actually paying less than you did the year prior. And that's unusual to be able to say that in this climate. So we're proud of what we've done, and yeah, next year and the year after that, we hope to continue to do the same thing.
Any hope for the senior citizen? That question that has been asked many times, and you probably see those questions coming to your desk as well. Those senior citizens who have been around in the city for many years, some 30, 40 years and what have you, their kids have grown up and they have gone. Obviously we appreciate their contribution and what have you, but they still hope that city will come up with some kind of a program where they will get some sort of a senior citizen relief on the tax. Is there such thing even in existing?
Yeah, in Keller and Tarrant County, in Keller, you actually, once you reach a certain age of seniority, your taxes actually freeze, meaning your rate, remains either the same. Let's just say, for example, at some point we increased the rate, which I don't foresee happening. Um, Seniors would be frozen, so they wouldn't be negatively impacted by that. If we lower our rate, then obviously they enjoy the benefit of that. And so a lot of the things that we do currently, it's to impact all our residents, whether it be seniors, whether it be the folks starting out. Everything that we're doing, every tax relief measure is impacting everybody in a positive way. But yeah, we specifically, when it comes to seniors, there's an option that we can consider, and it's something that we may start considering this year, especially considering that we're maxed on the homestead. And it's basically an option tax, so kind of like a homestead exemption. There is actually an exemption also for senior citizens. Keller has not touched that portion because we focused on the tax rate and it focused on the homestead. But now that we've kind of maxed out on the homestead, that may be another avenue for us to provide additional relief for seniors specifically. And so that might be something that we look at. Some other cities have done that, like Grapevine, for example, is one that's messed around with that option. And so we may consider doing the same thing for our seniors, which will provide unique tax relief measures for them as well.
We certainly appreciate the steps that you have been taking to bring relief to the citizen. One of the things that we have enjoyed seeing you is building a close relationship with our neighboring cities, creating some healthy environment, hosting some a very healthy and competitive tournaments or, games with your counterparts around the cities. How has that, we have not seen that in the past. How has that been a fun, I would say?
Yeah, no, it's been fun. We're kind of uniquely situated where we've got a lot of communities that are similar in nature to Keller. You've got whether it be Colleyville or Southlake or portions of North Fort Worth and the Alliance area. We have a lot of similarities. And so one of the things that we've tried doing is just collaborating more. I think the more that you can collaborate with your neighboring cities, the better not just your city will be, but the better the region will end up being. And you see some of that collaboration, for example, with the municipal judge, Keller, Colleyville, and we share a lot of our resources in that effort. Westlake as well. When we talk about our police efforts, Westlake doesn't have a police department. They actually contract out through the city of Keller. And so I think having those type of partnerships help both communities. And also, we talk about taxes and those type of things, but when you share in those efforts, you're also sharing in some of those costs that sometimes cities will take on themselves. And so I think Keller has been smart in our partnerships and our collaboration, and we also have fun. For example, I think you're referencing to Southlake where we had our Fit City Challenge. It was a wellness initiative where we try to promote physical and mental well-being. And so we competed with the city of Southlake. We had thousands of residents participate in that program, and it was a 45-day long type of competition, and the city of Keller came on top. Which was always great to see. But that was a fun initiative where, again, just promoting mental, physical well-being. And this year we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring in the city of Colleyville as well to Southlake. And so we'll have 3 cities. And so it's been fun. And I think, it's been very important for us to have those relationships with them.
Absolutely. How the Saturday morning walks is going with the citizen? Walk with the mayor of Keller.
Yeah, yeah. We occasionally, there's in the city we've got something called Park Run, which one of our residents kind of helped initiate it with the help of other residents on the Parks Board. And every Saturday they get together at 8:00 in the morning over at Bear Creek Park, and they do a 5K jog or walk. And one of the things that we've been trying to do is for my own well-being, I've tried to join them whenever I had an opportunity to. And so we'll actually be joining them on December 10th. We'll have a run with the mayor type of thing. We'll meet with residents and join them on the 5K run. And I think it's actually going to be in celebration of their 100th run that they've had. So it's been a great thing for our community. And you see a lot of people join from all walks of life. And again, you don't need to run the 5K. Some people walk it. Some people bring their dogs. Some people bring their kids in a stroller. So it's just a good event to help build community.
You know, what I love about it is it just brings the communities together. And, you know, as busy as we are, oftentimes we don't have a time to go out and meet each other. This gives us an excuse to build relationship, get engaged with our residents. It's a beautiful thing that you have taken. Now, all these good initiative that you have taken, sometimes people do it because it's out of the goodness of their heart. And secondly, people do it because they want to leave a positive and healthy legacy behind, or they just want to start these initiatives to build on it.
Right.
So, how do we see Mayor Armin Mizzani running for the next term again, or going for the Senate or state?
Yeah, no, I'd love to run for re-election. I'm going to be up again in May. I can't believe how fast that's come around. You know, Wuji, when you and I ran, we were hit with the COVID situation, and so our terms were cut about 6 months short. So you and I were intending when we ran to have hopefully been elected in May, and that didn't happen until December. So I've been now, you know, assuming that I go through May, it'd be a 2.5 year term as opposed to the 3 year term. So it's gone really quick, but I've really enjoyed it. Like I said earlier, I feel that as a city, we're heading in the right direction. We're doing some great things together as a community. And so I think there's a lot of work to still be done. I've uniquely kind of, because I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, I kind of see a lot of the initiatives that we're pushing, a lot of the things that we're doing, and I get to see it through their eyes as well, because they're so young and kind of going through, you know, whether it be school, things like that. So a lot of the initiatives that we've pushed, I've been able to kind of enjoy it through them. For example, the sports park, you know, we're at the sports park almost every other weekend, and we're looking to make improvements there that are going to be substantial. So kind of being able to see those type of things on a day-to-day basis has been enjoyable. So my hope is, as long as the citizens will have me for another 3 years, I hope to run for re-election.
Well, happy to hear that. And obviously, there are so many things that you want to accomplish, and time has been cut short by 6 months, and there are a lot more to be done. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
You mentioned about, you know, you're raising young daughters. I've had the honor of meeting them also. You know, I'm raising young boys as well. One thing that I do want to admire your team and yourself for having conversation with the school board and getting those explicit, you know, books out of the curriculum. um, and that fight is not over. Actually, it's a struggle that continues, and I know that it doesn't fall under your jurisdictions, but are we expecting those kind of conversation to carry on and make sure that you know, the great values that once our school district and city has held will continue?
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of the reasons why people moved to Keller in the first place, at least why my family came to Keller, we have great streets, you know, we have great amenities, but we also have a great school district.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important, you know, for the school district to focus on the things that made them so great to begin with, and that's just providing a solid education for our kids. And yeah, you're right. You know, obviously, as mayor, it's a different jurisdiction. You've got the school board of trustees that deal with the school matters, but having that close relationship and making sure that when possible we're able to collaborate together, I think it's important. So, you know, it's not an easy task. You know, especially in this political climate, you'll always have people that maybe feel differently than you do in whatever issue that may be. But I give a lot of credit to the school board, the current school board, for trying to tackle issues that, frankly, were inappropriate. You know, when you have the explicit books like we had in the city, in the school district, and when that came to light, you know, that had to be addressed. And it wasn't necessarily a easy move for them to make. Obviously, you've seen what's, you know, been written about and things like that. And again, you'll always have strong opinions, but I think ultimately they try doing what they believe is right. And I agree with their sentiment. You know, we shouldn't have those type of books in our school libraries. Our kids are there to be taught, you know, how to write, how to learn, how to, whether it be science, technology, math. Those are the type of things that they ought to be focusing on. And those type of books were inappropriate. And so they took the action. And I anticipate, to answer your question, Mujeeb, I'm sure that, you know, the conversation will continue. but they've taken action, and so I give them credit for tackling a subject that was maybe challenging.
Well, I totally agree, and I think that brings us to the end of our show. Armin, thank you so very much for being on the show, and you represent about 48,000 people, and your voice does matter. And I'm absolutely 100% sure that once you talk to the board, and they should pay attention and close attention to it, because it's not just one voice, it's a voice of collective wisdom. Thank you, Armin. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Mujeeb. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and hope to meet you at the election campaign trail again, and then we'll come back and invite you again.
Sounds good, man.
Thank you, sir.
See you soon.
Bye bye.